Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in a place where your existence is under constant threat? Imagine waking up each day with the fear of losing your home, your land, your identity. This is the grim reality for the Palestinians living in areas under Israeli control. Take, for instance, the people of Masafer Yatta, near Hebron. They are currently facing one of the largest displacements of Palestinians by Israel in recent decades. The Israeli High Court, in a move that has stirred global criticism, rejected a petition to prevent the expulsion of over 1,300 Palestinians. The court cited security reasons, a justification that has often been used to legitimize such measures. The area known as Area C is under Israeli control and has been designated as a military firing zone. Despite evidence of long-term residency, the Palestinians face ongoing home demolitions and seizures. It's a deliberate and systematic erasure of their presence, their history, their existence. The court's decision has been seen by many as a step towards ethnic cleansing and the destruction of the Bedouin society. The local residents, despite frequent harassment and attacks from Israeli settlers and military, are holding their ground, refusing to be silenced or erased. Home demolitions and seizures are expected to increase following the court ruling. Yet the spirit of the Palestinians remains unbroken. They are determined to stay on their land to preserve their heritage, their culture, their identity. The Palestinians in Masafer Yatta are determined to stay on their land despite the overwhelming challenges they face. Their story is not just one of struggle and oppression, but also of resilience and resistance. It's an untold story that deserves to be heard, to be shared, and to be understood. Imagine having your home demolished and being forced to leave your land. This is the reality for many Palestinians. Let's delve into the personal stories of those who have experienced this harsh reality. Picture a family in Masafer Yatta, near Hebron. They've lived on their land for generations, their roots running deep into the soil. Yet they find themselves facing the largest displacement of Palestinians by Israel in decades. Their petition to prevent the expulsion of 1,300 Palestinians was rejected by the Israeli High Court, citing security reasons. Despite evidence of long-term residency, their homes face the threat of demolition and seizure. Consider the case of a mother, her home reduced to rubble, her children's laughter replaced with the deafening silence of loss. Her story is not an anomaly, but a recurring narrative in the lives of Palestinians. Her home was demolished, not because of a natural disaster or because she couldn't afford it, but because of a court ruling that decided her fate. Or think about the elderly man who has spent his entire life cultivating his land, only to see it seized before his very eyes. He's not just losing a piece of property, he's losing a part of his identity, his history, his heritage. His land isn't just a plot of earth, it's a symbol of his ancestors' resilience and a beacon of hope for his descendants. The aftermath of the court ruling has seen an increase in home demolitions and seizures. It's a silent suffering, a quiet devastation that doesn't make the headlines, but leaves deep scars in the hearts of those affected. It's a cycle of displacement and loss that continues to repeat itself, leaving families homeless and communities broken. But amidst this suffering, there is a spirit of determination. Local residents are resolved to stay on their land, to resist the forces that seek to uproot them. They are not merely victims of their circumstances, but active participants in their narrative, choosing to fight for their right to exist on their ancestral land. These stories are but a glimpse into the daily struggles faced by Palestinians. They are a testament to their resilience and a call to the world to recognize their silent suffering. As the world watches, some countries have raised their voices against the violence in Gaza. The globe is no longer a silent bystander to the trials and tribulations of the Palestinian people. The outcry against the siege of Gaza has been far-reaching and loud, echoing from country to country, from Algeria to Brazil, Colombia to Cuba, and from Indonesia to Iran. The call for peace reverberates across the world, with nations like Ireland, Kuwait, Malaysia, Morocco, Norway, Oman, Pakistan, Qatar, Russia, and South Africa, all voicing their condemnation of Israel's actions. These nations emphasize the need for international intervention, respect for Palestinian rights, and a two-state solution. Pakistan, in a poignant statement, equated Israel's actions to genocide, shedding light on the severity of the situation. Meanwhile, Russia advocated for a political resolution and the creation of an independent Palestinian state. These strong words from global leaders highlight the urgency of the situation and the need for immediate action. The world is slowly but surely recognizing the untold story of Palestinian hardship. The silent suffering endured under Israeli oppression is coming to light on the international stage. The global community is rallying together, advocating for peace, and calling for an end to the violence. The plight of the Palestinians has not been ignored, and the voices calling for peace are growing louder and more forceful. The world is watching and waiting for a resolution that respects the dignity and rights of the Palestinian people. The call for peace and respect for Palestinian rights is growing louder on the global stage. The world is no longer willing to stand by silently as these atrocities continue. There is a collective global demand for an end to the violence and the beginning of a new chapter of peace and respect for all. Art has the power to reveal truths that words often cannot. This sentiment is beautifully encapsulated in the works of Slimane Mansour, a distinguished Palestinian artist. Mansour's brushstrokes have painted the narratives of countless Palestinians, expressing their struggles, their courage, and their unwavering spirit. His canvas is a testament to the resilience of a people who, despite all odds, refuse to be silenced. For over 5 decades, Mansour has been a beacon in the world of contemporary Palestinian art. His work, often reflective of the hardships endured by his people, is a poignant declaration of their strength and tenacity. It's a candid portrayal of their reality, unfiltered and raw. It's a refusal to let their stories be forgotten, a refusal to let their voices be drowned out amidst the chaos of conflict. Mansour's art is not just an expression, it's a form of resistance. It's a deliberate act of defiance against the suppression of Palestinian identity. His paintings, brimming with powerful symbols like the watermelon, challenge the censorship of political art. They scream of the injustice that Palestinians face, echoing their cries for recognition and equality. But more than that, his art is a beacon of hope. It's a show of steadfastness, or sumud, in the face of adversity. It's a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Palestinians, who, despite the trials they endure, continue to stand strong. Through his work, Mansour gives form to this resilience, this unyielding resolve that is so characteristic of his people. And in doing so, he has managed to do something truly remarkable. He has given a voice to the voiceless. He has told the story of a people who have been silenced and marginalized, whose struggles have been overshadowed by political agendas. Through his art, Mansour has breathed life into their narratives, giving them a platform to be heard, to be seen, to be understood. Through his art, Mansour has given a voice to the voiceless, depicting the perseverance and resistance of the Palestinian people. His canvas is a testament to their spirit, their strength, and their unwavering resolve. Through the power of art, he has managed to reveal a truth that words often cannot, the resilience of a people who refuse to be silenced. The plight of Palestinians is not just a political issue, it's a human rights issue. These are not just words, but a call to action, a plea for justice. It's a call to recognize the struggle of Palestinians as they endure the consequences of a conflict that has lasted for decades. We live in an interconnected world, a world where information is at our fingertips. Make use of this privilege, learn more about the Palestinian cause, understand the human rights abuses they face. The history, the suffering, the resilience, it's all there waiting to be discovered. There are numerous resources you can turn to. Books that narrate the Palestinian history, documentaries that capture their struggle, articles that bring to light the human rights abuses. Every bit of knowledge brings us a step closer to understanding and empathy. But learning is only the first step. To make a difference, we must act. There are numerous organizations working tirelessly to bring relief to the Palestinians, to advocate for their rights, to amplify their voices. Groups like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch are constantly monitoring the situation, providing reliable, unbiased reports on the ground reality. They are working to hold those responsible for human rights abuses accountable. Palestinian rights organizations such as Al-Haq and Adamir are fighting for justice from within, documenting violations, providing legal aid, advocating for prisoners' rights. Support these organizations, lend your voice to their cause, share their reports, donate if you can, or simply spread the word about their work. Remember, every bit counts. Every tweet, every share, every conversation can make a difference. It's about creating a ripple effect, a wave of change that can sweep across borders and barriers. In the end, it's about standing up for what's right. It's about standing with the Palestinians in their fight for justice, for dignity, for peace. The change begins with you. Stand with Palestinians, uphold human rights, advocate for peace. Let this be our call to action, our commitment to making a difference. Let's work together to create a world where human rights are not just words on paper, but a reality for all.